right, then. So I did tell you we're Xraying LASTMA strategies for traffic management during the Yultide season. And guesting this morning is the Chief Executive of LASTMA. I'm talking about Olalekan Bakare, the General Manager of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority. Nice to have you back in the building. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Fito.
And compliments of the season.
Same here. Good morning, Lagos.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, then, so we're going to be looking at some of the strategies that you guys will be deploying to ensure that Lagos is moving at a seamless rate during this period. But first off, how are things faring with LASTMA? Let's start with that.
Well, so far, so good. Our men are putting in their very best. We are living above board to make sure that Lagosians, especially the road users, have a seamless movement. We'll make sure that they journey their way within a reasonable travel time at all time, because that's our major responsibility.
Beautiful. And what has been the strategies that you've been deploying before we even talk about the Yultide? From time to time, people begin to ask questions when there are congestions here and there. But we see that in recent time, it appears some of those areas that used to be congested seem to be disappearing. So what are the strategies that you put in place to ensure that?
Yes, apart from enforcement, we equally engage a robust advocacy by making sure that we talk to the people involved. We involve all the major stakeholders. We bring them to the round table and let them see reason why the traffic should flow. Traffic management is everyone's responsibility. At times, we equally go to their offices, we go to parks, we go to garages in order to ensure our job is seamless. And sometimes too, we visit primary and secondary schools in the states, both private and public. We engage the children so that as they are growing, they'll be able to imbibe the spirit of traffic rules and regulation and uphold safety. Right. And whenever they are with their parents, they can equally do major or minor corrections.
Right. And one thing that has been very prominent ever since you assumed office as the general manager is women in LASTMA. Talk to me. How did you come up with that concept?
Yes, the concept came up December last year. I was appointed in November, and I and my team, we went into boardroom on how to change the narrative, to rebrand the organization. And part of our core program is to use the women, because we all know that all men have a soft spot whenever they see the female gender. And equally, we key into the Team Plus agenda of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Aduragbemi Sanwo-Olu.
Right.
More women participation in governance.
Okay. So that has been on ever since.
Yes. And so far so good. We'll be able to do a lot.
Okay.
Around November, last month, November this year, they started their side of the Ember Month program by visiting major parks and garages, going into the streets of Lagos. We were able to cover the 5 divisions of Lagos State.
Okay.
They went to Lagos Island and its environment. They were in Ajaazis, Badagry, Ikorodu, Ikeja, Epe, and all the convergence points in terms of vehicular activities, especially in this Yultide period. What I mean is interstate parks in the states. They equally engage the major stakeholders, the union and all sorts. Even they went as far as visiting the traditional rulers of Lagos. We started with the Oba of Lagos, His Royal Highness, His Royal Majesty, Oba Rilwano Akinolu, by receiving His Royal blessing to kickstart the campaign.
Okay.
And as of today, we have more women in the management of LASTMA. We have about 5 zonal heads.
Wow.
That are women. We have area commander.
There are women too.
There are women. We have area commander about 2. We have 1 female controller. And at the directorship level, at the main building, we have about 7 of them that are heading one department or unit.
Wow. So that means LASTMA is really, really giving voice to women and making them very prominent as well. I was just about to ask that question before you brought that in, which is very, very good. But let's switch to some other areas, because I know that in the past we have some areas that are very notorious, especially when we talk about the build-up and the congestions in Lagos. Now, ever since assuming that mantle of leadership, which areas of Lagos do you think is most congested and very problematic in terms of dealing with the traffic flow in those areas? Which areas have you noticed?
Yes, the traffic flow in Lagos is unique, and if you must have observed the traffic pattern of Lagos in the morning, especially in the morning belt, we have more vehicular movement coming from the mainland to the highland.
That's right.
While the evening belt, we always have a mass movement from the highland to the mainland. So our concentration has always been tackling the peak period to make sure that people are able to meet up with their works, with their appointment, and all sorts at all time. We strategically position all our resources, both human and material. Our materials vis-a-vis traffic equipment, cones, channelizer, safety barrier, New Jersey barrier, and all sorts, in order to redirect or to channel traffic. And also our men too, they are up and doing. We have our recovery vehicles too. Likewise, our patrol and motorbikes. Our motorbikes will always navigate their way through any congestion to dictate whatever is responsible. And we equally work on our response time, which is important to traffic incident management, or whenever we have road traffic crashes.
Let's talk about that response time. What does it say at the moment? I mean, if there's a breakdown somewhere right now, how many minutes should you expect that your rescue team will be there?
It depends on the nature of the problem. The nature varies. It could be an upturn, it could be a major fault from the vehicle, or all sorts. But the nature of the problem will determine our response time. If it is a major one, if it is a major road incident, we will need to collaborate with other responders, and we have a synergy, a robust synergy with them. What I mean is Lagos State LRU, Lagos State Response Unit, under LASTMA. They provide they provide heavy equipment whenever such needs arises. We equally engage Lagos State Lasambos, Lagos State Fire Service, and Nigeria Police too. If there is a major problem on the road, we always call their attention. Most of the times, we always be the first responder.
And of course, there are some very heroic responses and heroic accident rescues that you guys have carried out this year. I think one that can never be forgotten so easily was the one that happened, was that last month or earlier this month? In the Mile 2 corridor, where an articulated vehicle fell on a car. And
someone was trapped.
That's right. And miraculously, your men were able to bring that man out safe and sound.
Even another one happened 2 weeks ago.
Where was that?
On Tom Mainland Bridge.
Right.
After Adeni G.
Ilubiri,
moving towards Osborne.
That's right.
Where we have a J5 that had a major crash, and someone was trapped. But fortunately, with the collaboration efforts with other responders, vis-a-vis LRU, Lagos State Lasambos Fire Service, the man was rescued alive. Instantly, when he was removed from the vehicle, Lasambos was on ground and he was rushed to Lagos State General Hospital. Today, the man is alive and healthy.
Beautiful.
Because we do follow-up system.
Now, which is very good. So, and that speaks to a lot in terms of your preparedness for those kind of emergencies, which I would say thumbs up to LASTMA and all the emergency responders. But Bakare, the big and the very huge elephant in the room has always been the attitude of the commercial bus drivers. Some have said, in spite of all the advocacy, in spite of the advancement in traffic management, little has been achieved in terms of reforms for this set of drivers. So, what is LASTMA doing to really carry out real enforcement? I mean, if you drive now, the likelihood of you seeing one commercial bus driver, a downfall to be precise, waiting at the traffic light is going to be very rare. So, what are you guys doing to checkmate that?
Yes, we've deployed technology so far, and it has been yielding results. We have our TMS machine, traffic management solutions, Likewise, the whistleblower app. The whistleblower app is an avenue for Lagosians to equally say something whenever they see something. It's available on all Android for them to download whenever they see any of these infractions or demeanor on the road. Even in times of emergencies, traffic congestions, they can equally reach out to us and will respond swiftly. For the TMS, our men have been armed. They've been given these TMS devices like POS. We've been on it for over a year now. And the intention was direct, so that we'll be able to reduce human interaction between our men and the road users. Likewise, to reduce litigations against the agency.
Right. So has this TMS really worked for these commercial drivers?
Yes, although we have our challenges when it comes to database. But as I speak, Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, under the able leadership of the Honorable Commissioner and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, my own principal, Honorable Sholagiwa,
right,
and the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Wale Musa, they've taken the bull by the horn. They are talking to Ogun State, likewise other major states in the country, so that we can have a robust data system. With this, we'll be able to resolve a lot of issues. Whenever any of these errand drivers or vehicles is captured on our technology, even if they run to other states,
right,
they will have no choice.
Okay, so the big question here is, what do your men do when you see this kind of errand downfall drivers? Let me put it that way. I mean, is there a strategy for you to arrest them? Because what people see out there is that you guys leave them and they just do their thing and they go away.
No, we don't leave them. As I speak, go to any of our removal yard in the states, you will see a lot of these commercial buses. The approach has been safety first on the part of our men, because majority of these drivers could be driving under the influence of narcotic drugs or alcohol. So if you see a downfoot driver or a commercial minibus driver that misbehave on a major highway, he would never consider the consequence. And also, is carrying 14 passengers.
Right.
With him and the conductor equal to 16. So the lives of the people inside the vehicle is very, very important to LASTMA. So we have our strategies. Whenever they misbehave like that, if they are captured by our TMS, we know a way of taking them. And some situations too, our men will just do a major video coverage of them. And at our convenience, our comfort zones, we do arrest them en masse. At times, you see my men on the expressway, they will just stop and be picking commercial buses. People will be wondering, what have they done? But we have a lot of their records of their illegal activities.
All right. I know that most of you are very eager to speak to the general manager of LASTMA, but just be patient. I'll ask the questions first, and then I'll later on take your own feedback as it relates to that. So you have your strategies of picking up the commercial bus drivers. But in terms of enforcement, do you have a segmented way of enforcing private drivers and commercial drivers, or is it the same?
They are all the same. Let me give you a scenario. This happened on Saturday night / Monday morning, because since last Friday, LASTMA has started an overnight job.
Okay.
We have a dedicated and selected team now, over 2,000 of them.
We'll talk about that, yes. But just give me that scenario. Go ahead.
Yes, the scenario was, it happened around Lekki roundabout, around 2 a.m. on the early hours of Sunday morning. A vehicle drove against traffic. Then, in the process of accosting the driver, the whole occupant of the vehicle descended on our men, including a uniform personnel in the vehicle that brought out tear gas and sprayed it directly into the eyes of my men.
Wow.
As I speak, one of them is still in the hospital. Although the appropriate authority has taken charge, will be able to identify them. They will surely go. They will be punished. They can't go unpunished.
Right. So I know these are recurring incidents. A lot of times we have that kind of scenario where people assault your men. There was the one that happened somewhere around was that Mile 2 or really N2 earlier in the year, where an irate driver attempted setting up one of your men on fire. I mean, I don't know if you can recall that incident.
Yes, it happened on Oshodi Apapa Expressway. Around Sele, to be precise. There was this notorious one-way driver. He's always driving against traffic around that stretch. He will drive from mile 2 throughout the whole stretch to Ilasa Aziz. Then we'll gather our evidence against him for almost 3 weeks. He was under watch. When we thought it was convenient for us to apprehend him, in the course of apprehending him, he brought out a petrol of 5 liters and sprayed it on his vehicle himself and my men. We thought, my men on ground thought it was a joke, not until when he brought out matches.
And he lit the vehicle?
Yes.
Wow.
But as I speak, that particular LASTMA official that was caught by the fire is still in the hospital, though he's responding fine.
Right. And that brings a whole lot in terms of the welfare and what the government is doing about your men. And I need you to speak to that to the public, because a lot of times when some of these things go on, the mind of the public is, well, if LASTMA doesn't do anything, one will not blame them because their lives are always at risk and nobody will fight for them. So is that the case?
No. The administration of the incumbent governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Mr. Talk and Do, has always been a pillar of support to us. Whenever we have any issues concerning education, it is always instant. His response is always swift. And the welfare package that he has for us, that is ongoing, has been wonderful.
Right. So do we have insurance? Do we have life insurance for your men, for instance?
Yes, we have. We have life insurance. Even we have two. We have one domiciled with Lagos State Government, Ministry of Finance, to be precise. Why we have another one outside the system. All these are part of the trajectory to encourage our men so that we'll be able to perform better, so that we'll be able to improve on our service delivery.
Right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Lagos Transport Trends and Perspectives. The lines are buzzing forever. I know most of you want to have a word with the LASTMA GM, but before then, quickly, let's get back to the roads. Most of the areas are still looking very, very good. And we're still tracking that breakdown, that impediment, somewhere around Agege, as we reported earlier on. It's receiving attention. And, of course, the traffic managers there are sending in swingers from time to time. All right, this one is from the Apapa update. This one says, broken down container-laden truck having a front bearing problem at Coconut in what's Johnny First Gate. The owner is making frantic efforts to get it fixed. A tow truck has been contacted and men on ground doing the needful at that particular location. No backlog cited as we speak for now. All right, then quickly. Yes, the incident report. This one is still okay. That's the Agege one, still very much there. And of course, we're giving you the review of the Ikorodu Road, which is still looking good, all the way from Ojota. Inner Ikorodu as well. We've given you what it looks like. But Airport Road, we can tell you it's good vehicular movement from Oshodi Expressway inwards Akpakun Nako International Airport. That road is still very, very good for now. International Airport Road inwards Ajao Estate Gate, as well as Fatai Irawa Junction and Awoni Elemo Junction, Latif Salami, the other street, connecting Ashafa, Afari Ogun Street, inwards areas like Eleganza and Chibita, that entire stretch down to Kenu, proceeding towards NNPC Junction, all looking pretty good at the moment, no major worries. All right then, so let's see if we can begin to expand the discourse beyond the studios now to have your input. 08099 120777. That's the numbers that you can call. 08099120777 and 09153877127. Yes.
Mr. Victor, in addition, we have a situation at hand.
Okay. Where's that?
At Ijora Lokba.
Okay.
High Bridge, descending towards Apapa.
Oh.
We have a case of a trailer leading a 20-feet container that upturned.
Ooh.
Taking 60% of the road.
At that location now?
At that location. But all hands are on deck. We've contacted heavy duty recovery vehicle.
Beautiful.
For the removal.
All right. That's just to show you that the general manager is always on top of his game when it comes to the reports that come in from time to time. So he has it on the top of his hands and is sending that in. Let's take the report. Hello there. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Victor.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Comrade.
Hey, comrade. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Somolu.
All right.
Yeah, Somolu Soko Shodi.
All right. Go ahead.
I just want to say kudos to the GM LASTMA.
Okay.
Bakare. Since the inception of the LASTMA, this is the best GM that we have never seen. He's number one. Early in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, in the midday, you will see him walking all around. In fact, I give kudos to him. And also, the PRO, that man is a great man also. And Adeosho, I give kudos to them.
All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, comrade, seem to be following you guys. 08099120777 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can connect with us this morning. Any questions that you have for the GM, that's the general manager of LASTMA, feel free. He's here to respond to you and also ensure that any questions unanswered can be well taken care of. I have some messages that are dropping in here for you. This one says, morning, sir. Quick one. Serious accident on the Long Bridge in Lagos. Car turned upside down, causing traffic already. But FRC are there. Thank you so much for supplying that info. All right. Long Bridge says a serious accident. And he says the FRC, they are there already as well. All right, then, let's see. There's some more feedbacks here that are coming in. Okay, let me just take them one after the other. This one says, okay, it says, what proactive measures have your agency put in place to manage the increased volume of vehicles during this season? Wale is sending that one in. All right, so let's even talk first. What are the strategies that you're bringing to bear during this Yultide season?
Yes, we expect more influx of people into Lagos, both within Nigeria and outside the country. So as a result of this, we've rejigged our system. As I mentioned earlier, we've mobilized over 2,000 of our men to strategic and convergence areas in the states. Our concentration so far has been on Lekki, Aja axis, Victoria Island, Ikoyi axis, the length of Ikorodu Road, Agege Motor Road, Third Mainland Bridge, Jibowu axis as a result of the activities of interstate buses. There. Also, Akpogbon is very important.
Okay.
Akpogbon too. Likewise, Mile 12, because we have number one perishable market in the country around our houses. Okay. So our concentration has always been on that area. As well. So we've started an overnight team, a special gang. They will resume by 8 p.m. and closes by 4 a.m.
Ooh, okay.
Our work plan before the night gang was brought on board. The shift in the morning will resume by 6 a.m. and closes by 2 p.m. While the PM belt will take over from them and closes by 10. We equally have the rescue unit that will comb the whole Lagos from 10 p.m. till morning. And that has been enlarged now, including traffic control in those strategic areas earlier mentioned.
Okay.
Likewise, our materials too has been deployed effectively to strategic area in case of any accident, breakdown, or unforeseen circumstances.
All right. Okay, so is there anything that can be done? Because it appears at this time, the volume of traffic seems to increase. Apart from what you said now, is it just a case of more vehicles making use of the roads, or perhaps indiscipline or breakdowns? What do you think is responsible? On Saturday, it was very thick, most of the areas, and people were wondering what's going on.
It is multi-dimensional, multifaceted. As I said, we have a lot of people coming into Lagos now. And even the nightlife has increased tremendously, especially on the island and Ikeja houses. And this has equally been taken into consideration. Likewise, we have leisure places that are always bubbling in the morning and afternoon too. Even markets.
Okay.
The likes of Oyingbo, Ido, Jibowu, and all sorts. Even Alabarago International, Alabarago Market.
Right.
All these areas, we expect high volume of vehicles. And if you look at the number of vehicles in Lagos, according to the National Statistics Bureau, there are over 13 million vehicles in the country, and more than half are domiciled
Right
in
in
Lagos,
Right.
and Kano. And, by extension, examining the geographical location of the states, we have more waters than lands. And successive governments, including the incumbent one, has put a lot in place to make sure that this limited land space are well utilized. That's why you will see the enormous power put in place by Mr. Governor in making sure that the waterways and the rail system are equally open up for better transportation system.
Okay, then, I still have the General Manager of LASTMA with us, Olalekan Bakare, 09153877127. Send in your questions, or perhaps you want to speak with him directly. Feel free to do so. He's here to respond to your concerns. This one says, compliments of the season. Please, can you list out some areas where there are any temporary road closures this season so we can avoid them? Thanks. Sunday. He's sending that one in from Ibafo. Okay, but let's take this call. Hello there. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name?
All right, my name is Akin.
Akin, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Fadi.
Fadi, all right, then Akin, go ahead.
All right, so I just want to share an experience.
Okay.
Yeah, so last year's Christmas, I was coming from Ojota to Fadi, and I boarded the bus. It was in the night, a commercial bus.
Right.
And to my surprise, not only was the driver driving recklessly, he had a bottle of beer. He was driving and literally drinking the bottle of beer, putting everyone's lives in danger on Christmas Day. So my point is, what LASTMA and other traffic management agencies and other law enforcement, what can they really do about these guys, the commercial bus drivers? What can they do apart from educating them? I mean, they act like they are above the law sometimes. So what can really be done, especially in this festive season?
Beautiful.
To curb those excesses.
All right, then. Akin, thank you so much for that question. Pertinent one indeed. Thank you for your contribution. All right, so that raises the question of drink driving, Mr. Okibakari. I mean, that driver might not just be the only one. I'm sure there will be so many others that we see on the road taking one substance or the other. What is LASTMA doing to curtail that?
Yes, that has been part of our cardinal point in the environment campaign. We've taken the gospel to them. As I said, our men, especially the female elite corps, has been on the road. We've equally spoken with their union, both the NURT and the RITIAN, and we go to their garages to talk to them. But in case of such recurrence again, they can reach us through our toll-free line that was established in July.
For whistleblowing?
Yes, they can reach us. And the line is free. It's toll-free.
All right, what's the number?
They can talk to us. The number is 080-000-527862. They can communicate to us through English, Yoruba, and Pidgin. It's toll-free.
And how's it been? So far, so good with that toll-free
From
line?
July to date, we've received over 2,500 calls.
Wow.
And they will promptly attended to.
Beautiful. All right, let's respond to Sunday's concern about road closures and areas where people can avoid. Do we have that? Do we have that in place?
Yeah.
I mean, places that you're likely going to be having road closures.
Yes. There may likely be partial or permanent road closures. And in case of such, The Ministry of Transportation in the states are always on top of their game.
Okay.
No road closure will happen in Lagos without informing Lagosians, without road travel advisory dishing out to them. People should always endeavor to check our social media handles, to listen to our radio program, especially the LASTMA Connect on Tuesdays.
All right, then. More questions coming in from you. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. It's so nice listening to the General Manager of LASTMA on your station. How does LASTMA and other related agencies plan to improve the recovery process of broken down or accidented vehicles, especially the HDV, I don't know what that means, on the road during this period? Okay, so how do you guys plan to do that?
Yeah, we've been doing it. That was what I told you earlier about the current incident that is ongoing at Olalekan High Bridge, descending to Apapa. Whenever we notice such, or whenever we get information concerning any breakdown, road traffic incidents, we are always swift in making sure that we do the recovery. We manage time.
Okay.
Our recovery vehicles, the one at our disposal, has been positioned in strategic locations. As I sit here with you, I can predict clearly in the next 10-20 minutes where we will record a breakdown or an accident.
You mean it?
Yes.
You can predict?
As I sit here with you.
Tell me, where's the next one going to happen?
In the next 15 minutes,
right,
you might witness one on the stretch of Ikorodu Road, Olalekan Bridge, Stadium Bridge, Eko Bridge.
So these areas
even Agege Motor Road too.
Right. So these areas are prone to breakdowns of this articulated vehicle.
Yes, and on Tom Mainland Bridge.
Right.
Our gospel, our message has been: people should they should not overspeed.
All right, more questions coming in. This one says, is there any form of sensitization programs aimed at commercial bus drivers to sensitize them on the dangers they pose to both themselves and others on the road? You didn't put your name. I would have loved it if you put your name. So, but I think you spoke about that earlier, right?
Yeah, it's ongoing. It's continuous. Even after the end of December, we have a long line program where the engagement will be continuous. We'll talk to them. We'll talk to them in the local dialect so that the level of understanding will be great.
Great. This one says, good morning and compliments of the season to everyone in the studios. Mr. Bakare, are there specific measures for managing traffic around markets, malls, and event centers during this period? Chidi from Festac is sending that one in. All right, so what's the strategy for managing traffic around markets?
Yes, we have a department now that was created of recent. We call it the Event Management Department. What they do is just to take care of all these traffic issues around the hospitality business in the state, especially the nightlife. Of recent, the nightlife in Lagos has been rated high. So our concentration, our searchlight is on that direction too. As I speak with you, we have every presence in major shopping mall in the state, and it has been the nightlife, especially on the island, Ikeja, Lekki, Ajazi, has been factored in as well, so that people will be able to move without hindrance, and in case of emergency, they will have a thoroughfare.
Let's have this. I know you've been doing lots of partnerships, but for some time now, we've been talking about the fact that local government officials are not meant to do any kind of enforcement in terms of traffic. But we see them still do that in Lagos. And sometimes they do that in collaboration with your men. So what are you doing about that? Let me see if I can take this call that's coming in as well. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Victor. How are you?
Very good. About today?
And good morning to Mr. GM.
Good morning, sir.
People have really been doing a human's job.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy you said you have synergy or you do sensitization with the traffic, public transport. I want you to please do something. One, Ikeja along. All these buses in the afternoon, they will park there and they don't allow people to enjoy the free traffic they should have had climbing from Ikeja station down into Agege Motor Road. 2, on the footbridges of Yaba, the Meta, you see Korope will take one side of one of the roads. So those coming from Surulere into Clifford Street or this Murtala Mohammed Way, they have to merge into one traffic to be able to pass them. So the same thing happens on Oyigbo.
Okay.
Same thing around Ikeja, around the Maryland roundabout. These commercial vehicles stay there most of the time. And unfortunately, I know your people are not harmed, so there are little things they should be able to do.
Right.
But working in conjunction with Ministry of Transportation, I thought those areas where the fence round, they said Lagos State government wanted to put park there so that there is no park on the road. But I believe for 2025, we'll be able to do something concerning that.
Beautiful.
Please keep the good job going.
All right.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. All your observations are well noted.
Okay, so
thank you.
I hope you can take that gospel along, because Ikeja along, he says, is always taken over by most of these commercial bus drivers. All right, then let's begin to take this home this morning. So the strategy for this period, is it going to be much more of, how would I put it now? Are you going to be doing much more corrective than punitive, or what's it going to be looking like during this period?
Yes. Since the beginning of this year, we've engaged in aggressive human capacity building, training and retraining, reorientation of our men for them to perform better, for them to improve on their service delivery. More so, we work on their emotional intelligence being the part of training and how to enforce without aggression. The bottom line for us is to have a LASTMA that is thorough, that has a lot of respect for the taxpayers, that will perform his or her job with a lot of empathy, without aggression.
All right, so if you see anything on the roads, what numbers can they call?
The toll-free line, in case they have any complaint, they notice any major congestion or road traffic incidents. Let them reach us through our toll-free line 080-000-527862. They can equally reach us through our social media handles. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are equally on Facebook.
All right. We'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. You are doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
All right, then. He's the general manager of LASTMA, Oki. That's Olalekan Bakare. And of course, we've been able to look at LASTMA strategies for managing traffic during the Yultide season. Flash update coming in says the earlier reported Dangote truck loaded with cement on Old Abeokuta Road by Gengeto Inward Pen Cinema is now off that location and normalcy restored. We have to go. Dayo Anthony has produced the program this morning. Maximum thanks to Omobolanle Ogunlola, who's Director of Public Affairs for the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. I say a big thank you to our social media team as well, Okpa Emishonunke and Deborah Abolode Oku. Our executive producer is Taya Konle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid Christmas. Bye.